Hey guys, I'm the Zam, and it's time for our monthly update. So, spanning the course of a few days, we played Kagero Deception 2. My friend's recommendation came in clutch because it prevents me from having to do Miside. It was either this or Suikoden, but this is shorter. I think Miside is actually the shortest, but moving on. So you set up the bomb, you blow up the bomb. It's a trapping game. Once you figure out enemy AI, they're not too hard to deal with. There were a few missions I had trouble, but only because I was trying to score max with 1,000 points with the full life bonus. As far as the Japanese goes, not a whole lot of new stuff for me. I added 27 words to Anki in my genocide route. The game has 4 endings. Yeah, I went the genocide route. A lot of the compound words used kanji that we were familiar with. The completely new words were tarai, meaning basin, tsugunau, meaning compensate. Now, I feel like this is a really useful one to have since, as the resident clown, I often make a lot of mistakes. Kuibuchi, living expenses. I guess the buchi is the real new bit, since we've seen kui in many other words like tomogui, kuimono, kuikomu, etc. Muku. This left kanji, of course, I've seen many times, but the one on the right is brand new, which is why I couldn't even guess the meaning. I can only guess it means no whatever the right kanji is. And the right kanji turns out to be dirt, filth, whatever. So no filth, meaning pure. Neat. And this might actually be a word we could find a way to use. And I think everything else used kanji we had seen before, but some of the more, I guess, useful words would be moshin, meaning blind trust, which I cannot type since IME is just not pulling it. Kokishin, which means curiosity, and honestly, I like the curiosity words. There's another one which is yaji umakonjo, which is what a wild expression. Shinpei, yes, this guy. What is it? Holy soldier, crusader. Jisho says soldier dispatched by God, but that's pretty wordy. So yeah, there are 4 endings. We're not going to play for all the other ones. Going to look for new text elsewhere. Honestly, Deception 2 is a pretty cute game. It's short, and I think it's a little ahead of its time. I don't really feel like you're incentivized to experiment with traps. You just sort of find a combo that works, and that's what you use until you read an enemy is immune to one of your main damage types, which is rare, and swap out that one for the mission. Alright, so that was from March 1st to March 4th. On March 5th, we began Berserk Millennium Falcon Arc, Chapter of the Holy Demon War. Been a big Berserk fan for years, and I think I first read it way back when I was reading Azumanga Daioh in like high school, maybe college. I actually remember the day Amira passed away because I got the news while I was at work during one of my lunch breaks. I was in my 2nd year living in Japan. When I went to Kyoto, I visited the manga museum, which is more of a library to an extent. There I read some Berserk as I waited for my train to Hiroshima, and it was pretty readable to my recollection. I even remember the chapter. It's the one where Guts begins to let the Beast of Darkness take over on the boat, and Best Girl has to bring him back. Maybe one day I should go back and read Berserk in Japanese. Anyway, if I remember the Super Eye Patch video correctly, he said this game was pretty good. So we'll check it out. It's also short, guesstimated to 10 hours on how long to beat. So it's probably going to take about a week. And Zam from the future here, it took a week. We got some good words here. We have Gishu, meaning prosthetic hand. Now I wouldn't have expected that because the first kanji I am used to seeing in Seigi no Mikata wa Gakkyu Incho, with the Seigi, meaning justice. So Justice Hand is prosthetic. Moving on to Rakuin. This is brand. This is the typical. When I think of Berserk, it's the thing I always look at. The Raku I have never seen before, but it has the radical for fire in it, and the In I know means like mark or shape. So burn mark or brand, I guess. Shito, meaning apostle. Now this one, I didn't know it, but if you gave me a list of words, I could probably get to apostle naturally. The second kanji here, I've seen a few times in Hitori Bochi no Maru Maru Seikatsu. Bochi takes on, and I cannot say her name with a straight face. soto kara kita, as an apprentice. The word they use is totte, though I may be misremembering the kanji used. It's been a while. Could be remembering it from freehand, honestly. Your mileage may vary. Dokoku, which means wailing. And I like it because the second kanji right here, kind of looks like a sad face. It's not just me, right? Gomo, meaning bristles. We see this ke a lot with animals since it means fur, you know? So we got kegawa, gemushi. Domo, meaning ferocious. Now, this one's still rough for me. However, I do know another word, moretsu, which I believe means ardent or passionate as I write this, but I'll correct it in post if I'm wrong. Kukkyo, strong, which has, we got the kushi, leading, and tsuyoi, strong. It's a pretty nice combo there. Mehashi ga kiku, which is quick-witted. This one's a little rough. Me is obviously me, but the other guy here, I've read a few ways. I know it from michibata, meaning roadside, and sentan, meaning tip. So when I see compounds, right, I gotta figure out whether it's a compound word or a compound word of not compound words, if that makes sense. So yeah, the quick example I think for like compound word, not compound words is nichiyobi, which looks like a compound word, but it's actually two words, independent. Overall, yeah, game sucks. It so badly wants to join the Muso Club, but it's just not fun. It's awful. The sword swings like a paper fan. It doesn't feel heavy. It doesn't feel like oki tekkai. The art sucks. Voice acting's good, but Puck never shuts up. It could be better. Moving on to Gardic Gaiden. This one took only 3 days, March 13th to March 15th. My friend told me this game had tons of item descriptions, hints to open doors. It had the door hints, but I didn't find them half the time. And I only wound up adding 4 words to Anki from it. All were N3 or common word. It's nothing really in particular here to really talk about, I don't think. Yeah, that's going to wrap it up for March. Around March 15th, the day I started the next game, the group started to play Monster Hunter Freedom Unite, which means we have weekly homework before we meet up on the weekend for the guild quests. So yeah, hunting together is going to cut down the time I actively read by at least 12 hours a week. I also have to do some spring cleaning as we move into the next academic year, which I am still doing as I type and record this script, which is why we're keeping this one relatively short. The next game appears fairly lengthy, so we're probably looking at 2 games max for April, depending on how exhausting the first month of the academic year is for me. As always, I'm going to drop a link for the Kodoba Miners in the description. You can find me there. Anything else, feel free to drop me a message on Discord. Thanks for watching.